the news and information you need from the people making a difference. This is Comcast Newsmakers.
Welcome to Comcast Newsmakers. I'm Ron Hedeke. Rob Klotz is with me today. He's the Vice Mayor of the City of Live Oak, and you're basically new to the community, but you really jumped in with both feet. Why'd you do that?
Well, I have a government degree from Sac State, and I always have been wanted to be involved with politics and government. During my college years, I was activities director and so forth. So I started going to the council meetings and the planning commission meetings. Got elected on the planning commission, was there for about 8 months, and then people wanted me to run for office, and so I went forward and did that.
Rob, I think a lot of people think that when you hold a political office in a city, okay, you go to meetings 2 or 3 a week, and that's about it. There isn't a whole lot more to it. But it's really almost a full-time job, isn't it?
You bet, it sure is. It's almost between full-time and part-time, but more towards part-time, more towards full-time.
Yeah.
You know, you have a real job, and then you have you know, the city council, which is also a real job, and it takes a lot of time. You have to read a lot at night and go to different committees that people aren't aware of, and it does take a lot of time, but I enjoy it to death.
As you go through things, I mean, you get a packet that comes out. I formerly sitting on a council in Marysville for a number of years. I mean, sometimes these packets are 4, 5, 6 inches
exactly,
thick.
Yes.
And there's a lot of reading there.
There is.
You become a speed reader real fast.
Yep.
But it's the concepts that you go through, you have a city staff that's putting these things together, that's guiding you. But your job as a councilman is to listen to people and then guide that staff, right?
Sure, you bet. And you also have to check with the constituents, because there are people who live close to a particular project and they have issues as well, and sometimes the staff report does not indicate that. So it's always best to get, you know, two sides to every topic.
How do you balance keeping a local small town flavor as we know everything grows?
I think one thing Live Oak has done a good job with is their economic development area. They've tried to make sure that everything is local. They try to get the local merchants involved, you know, try to buy local and so forth, and then just try to maintain that small town feel throughout the neighborhood.
Does it get harder as money gets tighter?
Yeah, it does. We don't have a lot of retail as far as other cities in Northern California, so we don't get hit as bad when, you know, the economy goes down. But it is hard, and we just have to be, you know, resourceful and decide what things are most important.
What advice would you give to somebody that's watching that's going, well, gee, maybe I ought to get involved with the city. I've always thought that I'd like to know more of what's going on. What would you tell them?
I would tell them probably to contact the city or myself, and we can certainly guide them in the right direction. A lot of times people get involved with different committees, like the committee for the community building. Some people decide to get on the planning commission. That's a great way to start and get their feet wet in local politics.
And there's a need for that involvement too. I mean, those that sit back and complain a lot but don't get involved, I mean, it's like, come on folks, you've got to be, you need to become part of the process.
You bet. It's always good for people to be involved, because then they can spread the word one person at a time to kind of what goes on in the city and what's important, because a lot of people, like you say, just sit back and don't know, and so they aren't aware of what really goes on.
We hear a lot today about open communication, transparency in government. What does that mean to Live Oak?
Well, Live Oak, we do a good job on the council in trying to get out to our constituents. We do a quarterly coffee out with the public. We also try to do our best with getting out with the constituents, going door to door. Our door is always open, everybody on the council, and we're more than willing to take any type of comments, suggestions, or, you know, feedback from the citizens of Live Oak.
I know it's work, but are you having fun?
I love it to death, you bet.
Why?
It's just great getting out with people, learning new things, and meeting new people.
Okay. Well, Live Oak's got a lot going. You've got a brand new Tower Mart. You've got a wastewater plant that's underway. You've got plans for the future. And growth plans are always interesting because you need public input for those.
Yes, that's true. We sure do.
So Live Oak is healthy.
Yes.
And we invite people to come by and take a look and see what's going on. It's not just the 99 corridor going through, but stop in and see the businesses and meet the people. And if you're involved with things that are going on, your phone number and your website are on the screen, and they can certainly get a hold of you.
Yes, please do. We would appreciate anybody's comments or suggestions.
Great. Rob, thanks for being with us.
You bet.
Thank you for being with us, and we'll see you next time right here on Comcast Newsmakers.